Hi, this is Attorney Betzold, and this is PrimaFacie. All right, we have a new update. We updated our form viewer, so let's go check it out. We're going to look here at this contact. We're going to go to Cases, and we're going to look at the I-130 case that we have here. All right, we're getting closer. We're drilling down right to the forms. And now let's go to the actual I-130. Let's open up this here. All right, we're going to select the petitioner, which we did. We're going to select the beneficiary, which we did. We're going to leave those blank. And you know what? Let's choose best interpreter ever. Okay, that's going to autofill their information. Now let's click edit. All right, this is our new form viewer. As you can see, we've got some color coding going on here. Everything in green can be can be autofilled by the system. And everything that's in purple, or this purplish color, is what we can reverse autofill. So we've got this little toggle switch here. Okay, so we turn that off and you'll just see all the fields that autofill, which is almost all of it. So what is reverse autofill? Well, as you know, in the current version of the viewer, or if you're looking at this and we've already released it, the old version of the viewer, you could enter in certain pieces of information and it would reverse autofill to your database. Well, we needed to make it better so that it would do that with more types of information. So now, when you have reverse autofill enabled, any of these fields, you change them, go to the next field, you see it flash purple. That means it reverse autofilled. So, for whoever is the petitioner, their A number has been updated to the 999999999. Okay. And if you're entering information for the first time, for example, middle name, let's put John. Joppin. Right? There we go. Flashes purple, it reverse autofilled. So if we go back to, let's see, who's the petitioner? Janet Jackson here. Janet Jackson is the petitioner. Let's go to her page. And we look at her information. You'll see her alien number is now all 9s, like we did. And her middle name is going to be Joppin. So we've got reverse autofill working there. Now let's check one thing. Let's check her addresses. She's got these two addresses, Butternut Drive and Pierce Street. Let's go ahead and return to the case we were just working on. Let's go back to that I-130 here. Let's go edit that in the form editor here. Now, if we go to her address, let's see here, full name, family, da-da-da-da. Let's say it wasn't lot 28, but it was lot 27. Now, flash, it's going to reverse autofill that as well. And what's neat is we can also do this with previous addresses as well. So if we're typing it in even for the first time, Appleton Street, Holland, there, da-da-da-da-da. All those pieces of information are going to get filled in back in the database for her. So let's go check that out. If we go back to her, we're dealing with Janet Jackson here. And addresses, and there's the Pierce Street one that we saw before. Previous addresses, 123 Appleton Street, Holland, MH, whatever that is. It starts to put that information in there for us. So what this means is, if you're in a situation where you're really just filling out a form, and you're going to need this data later, go ahead and just fill out the form, because it's going to save all of that information backwards into your database. So later, if you got to go generate an I-90 or an N400 or anything, you'll have that data already. All right, let's go back to the case that we're dealing with. In this I-130, let's go back to the form viewer. I want to highlight a couple other updates that we have. So the reverse autofill is obviously going to be the biggest one. It affects your workflow the most, and it's awesome. The other things, though, watch this. We have a tab index, and for a while the government had screwed it up, and for a few years they didn't do it right. But now we have it working, so you can tab from item to item, and you can go through the whole form. And then once you get to the end of that form, let's go and What are we doing here? Next page. We go right to the next page because now inside of Prima in the viewer, we have continuous page scrolling. So right here, we're going page by page, as you can see. But let's say it's too small. My eyes are getting weak. Maybe I'm getting old. Maybe I didn't eat enough beta carotene or my carrots. Let's click here and we're going to do fit to width scrolling. Now I can continuously scroll through the whole form. And it's that easy. So tab indexes, continuous scrolling. We have the different modes where you can automatically fit the pages here. And as you can see here, we've updated our interface. So what do we have? We have a reverse autofill. Oh, here you can control the font size dynamically. And look at this, you can even see how it's going to look in the form. So obviously for this form, that font's a little big. But say you want it to be something bigger than it was by default. You can change that. Or let's say you're trying to fit text in a field and you don't know if it's going to fit. So you need to shrink it down. You can do it like that. Now, when you shrink or change the font size, it changes it for every field on the form. That's just the way it works. But as long as you maintain the readability, print it on a high quality printer, you should be just fine. Also, so let's go ahead and change everything back to the default. Here, you can switch to go up and down between pages. You can add a particular page number right there if you want. You can zoom in or out. So if you need to rotate your monitor or something like that, you can have it so you can fit one full page or you can fit to the width. A lot of neat things. On the left-hand side, we have this pop-out menu with the thumbnails. So if you want to scroll quickly to find the familiar page that you're looking for, you can do that. On the right-hand side, we have the sharing tools. Now with the sharing tools, you can opt to share the form with your client through the client portal, and you can also limit or add the permissions. So if you want them to be able to read or to be able to edit all of the fields, you do that here. You click enable all fields on all pages, or you can disable all fields on all pages. So you can maintain control over what it is that they can change if you're in a situation where you need to share the form with them. All right, so that pretty much sums up all of the new features for the form viewer. Hope you enjoy it. Again, we've gone through extensive testing to make sure it works nice and smoothly for you. And enjoy.